What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 369. Nice. For the week of December 15th, 2024, the title of this week's episode is Bestman Leading the Rebellion. My name is Josh, aka JK Fire. This week I'm joined by the man in the Shopify Rebellion Worlds 2024 jersey.
You got the hoodie on.
I do. Will, aka I am Mr. Mayhem. But Will, who are we joined by?
Hey, we're also joined by Bestman himself here live in person. Well, not in person, but over the screen.
No, he's gonna fucking like Star Trek teleport the fuck into this building is what's gonna happen.
I'm just gonna spawn into a jersey right in between you guys.
Oh, perfect. It's here for you. It's right here for you.
Exactly. I kind of feel bad that I didn't wear any merch. You guys are both decked out.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Hopefully no one from the org is watching. Hopefully you didn't tag them, because if you did, someone's gonna watch. So.
Oh, already did. So.
Oh, whoops. We got you covered though.
Yeah. You got it. You're the important ones here. You guys are the hosts.
No. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. Nick, how are you doing?
Good. Exciting off season. One for the history books for sure in Halo, but other than that, just been chilling. Haven't really touched Infinite or anything like that, but soon, hopefully, probably by the end of the month or early next year, start get back in the swing of things.
It's okay. You've been you went to the Halo 2 LAN.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good time there.
Yep, got top 8.
That's fucking yeah, you did.
Made the money.
See, look at that. And like we were saying before we started recording this, like when they hopefully eventually do the Halo 3 anniversary, you need to win the whole fucking thing. And I'm expecting it to happen now.
Yeah, I got to go hard for that one. It's going to be tough though. MCC Halo 3 is a different breed.
I believe in you.
Yeah. And I'm old, man. By the time that happens, I'll be like 37.
We're all fucking old, dude. Like, who cares?
Although Walshy was 40 now, and he's playing pretty well on that team, honestly.
See,
I was surprised how good he was playing at that Las Vegas event. Age
is but a number, you know, especially when it comes to playing Halo competitively.
Yes, not for everything though.
That's right. Oh my God. For those that are tuning in live, thank you so much for being here. For all the subs and follows and everything, we will shout everybody out at the end of the interview and discussion. So please know that you're not being forgotten about, and we do appreciate you greatly. For those who don't know, Bestman, Nick Johnson, aka Bestman, former professional Halo player, current professional Halo coach for Shopify Rebellion, winner of multiple Best Coach Awards during the 2024 HCS season as well, due to multiple great placings throughout the year. Nick, let's kick you off with just with the standard one. Will, what's the standard one we always kick off with?
What's your Halo origin story? What got you into Halo?
Oof. Halo origin story, I think playing at a friend's house, like before Christmas sometime, I went over to a friend's house. We played split screen Halo 2. And I let me take it back a step further. I actually played Halo 1, but played it once or twice, and it was like, I don't like this. This is when I was 7th grade, I think. I was 7th grade when it came out. Anyways, fast forward to 4 years later, because I didn't have an Xbox or anything. I had PlayStation 2. I went to a friend's house, played split screen, and I was hooked. I don't know what did it, but like just playing split screen Halo 2 was like, I need an Xbox, and told my parents, and they got me for Christmas, and then that was pretty much it from the beginning. I was highly addicted to Halo 2. 16 years old, playing Halo 2 every hour of the day that I could. Like, literally didn't take any days off. And this was before MLG, before like competitive. Like, this is just casual play. I played all day, every day. And it was detrimental to my school as well, like to my schoolwork and grades and everything. But you know, it is what it is. I don't regret it. Eventually met people locally that knew what MLG was, and that's pretty much the short version of it. And somehow just ended up going to Philadelphia 2005, MLG Philly 2005. With a few local friends, about 8 months after I started playing, maybe 9 months. I think it was in the summer of 2005. And then I just kept playing, kept getting better, kept meeting people, networking. Eventually got, the next year I made top 16, which was considered pro back in Halo 2. And Yeah, that's the short version of it. There's definitely a lot more in depth I could go, but yeah, just casually playing it to meeting people IRL that knew what MLG was and signing up on the forums and never looking back.
What about Halo 1 did you hate like the most?
I was really into like racing games for some reason back then. So I liked what was the one that came with the Xbox? Was it Gran Turismo?
It was Project Gotham Racing.
Oh wait, was that it? Well,
Yeah.
there was another. No, it wasn't that one. I'm pretty sure it was Gran Turismo. That was what I
PlayStation.
That's
right?
what I.
Yeah, Gran
That was
Turismo is a
PlayStation?
PlayStation exclusive. Yeah.
Really?
Are you talking about Forza?
Oh, maybe it was Forza. Whatever. So I didn't have an Xbox at the time. I just played it at a friend's house,
Okay.
and I preferred the racing over he wanted to play Halo. I was like, no, let's play the racing one. and then I just forgot about it completely until sophomore high school. A couple years later, went over to a friend's house. He was playing Halo 2, and for whatever reason, I was just hooked, like just completely hooked.
It's funny. A lot of people say that that's how it starts. Went to a friend's house. A friend had me come over and play, and they got hooked.
Yeah, because I had PlayStation my whole life, PS2, like I had a Nintendo 64 as well and stuff like that. But yeah, I just never got into the Xbox until Halo 2 came out.
Yeah, I was a PlayStation kid. I had PlayStation until this guy was over here, and I'm late. I started with Halo 5. So,
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up, right?
Oh my god.
Wait, you didn't play Halo at all before Halo 5?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had to do your due diligence and with some Halo history then, huh?
Yeah, definitely did. And went back and played through all the campaigns, played MCC.
Yeah.
I do like the movement now because that's what I'm used to. The old games are tough for me because it's just
slow.
Yeah, and everybody go back and play in those games. Everybody knows what to do. I'm a newbie now. I'm trying to figure out where I am on the map, and it's tough.
What's your favorite campaign? Halo Reach.
Reach.
Yeah.
Definitely Reach.
I love Reach's campaign. Or ODST.
That's one I haven't done yet. Maybe soon.
Yeah, soon.
Halo 2 Halo 3 campaign I didn't really care for. Halo 1 campaign was really good. Halo 2, Halo 3 is kind of meh to me. But I'm no like lore master or anything like that. It's just strictly like for me playing it.
Yeah, I'm same way. Just enjoyment of the game and the story itself.
Yeah. I didn't play Infinite's campaign though.
Why?
I'm paying for it, so
there's that.
It's fun called Game Pass, bro. Tell Shopify to buy you a goddamn copy of the game. What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, I won multiple best coach and fucking event awards throughout the year. Can't just slide me a goddamn copy of the game we compete on? That's insane.
I was protesting for a while. Like I didn't buy skins for a while. I didn't spend any money on Infinite. And I eventually did buy some skins, so probably buy some more skins this year too. Some different coatings coming out.
Yeah. You think so? All right.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. All right. Cool. So
once a year, I spend $100.
There you go. There you go.
So maybe I'll play a campaign this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh my god. Competing as early as 2006, teaming with some of the biggest names in the esport. What is your greatest memory from competing?
Greatest memory from competing. Man, that's tough. I think I want to say
Halo 4.
I mean, I did have a good memory. I got top 4 in that MLG Halo 4 exhibition event they did or whatever. Like it was before the game release, and I did it with Kobe. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He suffers from a disease. I don't want to butcher what it is, but he's handicapped in a wheelchair.
Yeah, Kobe
I teamed with Devin and Sargoth. You guys remember Devin on G1?
Yep.
And we got top 4, made the money in that, and I was super proud of that because everyone was kind of on an even playing field, but there was some people that played the game early because they went gold and got leaked. So people were landing Halo 4 before that event, which is kind of cheese. AKA the team that won, I think it was Ninja, Goofy, Legit, and somebody else. But that's a big one. Damn it, I don't know, man. That's a tough one though. The biggest memory from competing, I mean, probably the first time I got top 8 in Halo 2. Like people Like, it's hard to get top 8 now, but you don't realize when you look back and you at these events with 200 teams, 150 to 200 teams, like getting top 8 was hard. It was hard to get into the like. Halo's always been esports was always political, but it was so hard to get into that. Like player group. Like, okay, I'm gonna get picked up if this guy gets dropped. It's like, no, you're not. You're not on the radar at all, no matter what you do. And free for alls kind of helped elevate that. With the likes of Pistola, who else was good? Hysteria, Neighbor. All those players are really good free for all players and got noticed. But getting top 8 in Chicago 7, I got top 8 with Smoltz, Mac, and Beast, and we beat like Fallacy, Fonzie, and some old school Halo 2 pros that were like top 3, top 4 in the beginning couple years of the game. And that was probably my biggest one, was just getting top 8. Because I look back and I'm just like, damn, it was hard to place well back then. It was hard to get noticed. It's not as easy as it is now. Like, it's still hard now, but it's a lot less people playing the game. There's streams now. There's Twitch streams. There's online events. There was no online events back in the day in Halo 2. It was pretty much all in LAN. So yeah, that's probably my biggest one. Top 8. Chicago 7 was 18. Damn, that's crazy. That's a long time ago.
You had said that like top 16 at the time was considered pro. Does that hold true today, in your opinion, or has that changed?
I think it's top 8's pro.
Top 8 now. Okay.
Yeah.
I
would say.
I like getting a bunch of different people's perspective on this, because obviously things have changed. You're right. You go from fucking 200 plus teams competing to now I don't want to sound rude, but like we're lucky to have 64 teams now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, you could be considered a professional player if you're making money, but I think in the like scheme of things, like top 8 would be I don't know. I guess maybe I'm going to waffle. I think top 16 could be pro now. Because, I mean, as 4 teams come out of the open bracket, it's still really hard to make the pro bracket. Because it's never been this hard to, like, four teams making it open? It's never been that hard. And so, as far as I can recall, I don't know what Halo 5 was like, but... so, yeah, you know what? I'd say top 16 is pro. Like, I don't want to take anything away from, like... like Descendants team, like Dark Inside, like they took us to Game 5 at Worlds. Like, they're not just like, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm switching. Top 16's pro. All right. There's some good teams in top 12, top 16.
There we go.
Native got top 16. They could have beat us at Worlds. So it's like the competition's close. There's a lot of good players.
Absolutely.
A lot of good teams.
Okay, so I know that we don't really like talking about like regrets and stuff like that, and I know like a lot of people say like, oh, I don't have regrets from competing or anything like that, but I am curious, what is your biggest, and I don't know if you have one right off the top of your head, but what is the biggest if only moment from competing? Like,
I turned down I know it right away. I turned down Roy Lunchbox and Reach.
Wow.
Before the season started. That's my biggest regret.
Yeah, you kind of fucked up there, bud. That's wow.
To be fair, though, I was with Hysteria Neighbor, and we had dropped Tots for Hines, so our team was going to be really good. But it turned out to not be. We had a lot of drama. We ended up making changes and didn't play so well at the first event. It ended up being me, Hysteria, SK, and Hines at the first event. So we went through like 4 different changes on that roster, and I was just like, damn it, I should have took the Roy Lunch Instinct offer. But who knows? We still could have, so that was before the first event reach. First event happens. They placed poorly with their team. We placed poorly. Then that God squad forms. Roy and Lunch team with Ergo 2 and Pistola. And they don't drop a map the next event. And then I think they won a couple more events, but I think they did lose one or maybe one event that year. I think Lethal won an event. Lethal and Orion, Lethal and APG. I forget, whatever roster won. And so who knows? Maybe it would have been a one event thing. Maybe we would have been not great. I wasn't the best Reach player in the beginning because I didn't play. So yeah, you never know. Butterfly effect. Maybe if I join, we're like in the finals or something, and then I'm teaming with them for the next 2 years or till Halo dies.
Maybe you're part of that God squad at that point.
Yeah, you never know. But looking back, I wasn't the best Halo Reach player, so I can't do too many what ifs, but that's my biggest regret. I should have teamed with them.
So
I should have said yes.
obviously we know what that instinct roster became, but if you were on it in place of the other two, do you know what that roster would have been?
Me, Roy, Lunchbox, and I think they wanted to team with Tots, and I think that's another reason why I didn't want to do it, because we had just teamed with Tots for the year on Triggers Down, and Tots was good, but he was kind of like, he kind of just had a bad rap because he was kind of young and dumb, and like people thought he was just like a sponsor kid back then because his dad helped pay for a lot of stuff for our team, and we land in his house. Like, if I don't know if you're familiar with the LAN network and all that stuff. I didn't think that he would be good at a new game. I thought he was good in Halo 3. I thought he was underrated at the end, but he got a lot of hate. And but yeah, anyways, I think that would have been a team. So I think it was another thing that turned me off. But I should have just said yes. I should have been a snap yes.
Well, now you live and learn, right?
It's all like it's all what's the word? Like, it's all like I just didn't know that my team was going to go through that drama either. Like, I was on Triggers Down, like we had just gotten we got second, third, fourth to end the year. Like, so we were in a good spot, but I didn't think that we would like want to drop Hysteria. Then once we dropped Hysteria, then Hines didn't want to team with. I think we dropped Hysteria for Elamite, so it was me, Elamite, Neighbor, and Hines for a bit, and then I don't know. It was just a mess of a reach off season. But yeah, that's my biggest regret.
God,
it'd be like that.
What a crazy timeline of events, though. Like, that's wow. Never knew that. That's crazy. Okay. Before I hand it off to Will for a couple, who was the hardest kill from your time competing?
Roy.
That makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Pistola. See if I can think of not an obvious one. I think there's this guy named Soviet that played Halo 2. He was incredible, but he had a lot of like life problems. So yeah, I think he would actually team with Walsh. He teamed with Walshy in Halo 3, but him online in Halo 2, he was like the best player in the world, and I just could never kill him. And then even on LAN, when he did end up going to events, he was just so good. And that's why he ended up teaming. I don't think it was Roy, Lunch, Walshy, and Soviet. I think they ended up teaming in Halo 3. And then this guy named Powwow. He won Chicago 07 MVP, and they got top 8. But he won MVP because he went like plus 300 or something like that. He had the most obscure stat line I've ever seen. Like, most people that won MVP of the event would have been like in the finals. But this kid was 16 years old and he won MVP at Chicago 7. I just couldn't believe it. He went on to play Halo 3 as well. He teamed with like Chig and some others, and then he eventually just fizzled out and quit. But definitely Roy, man. That guy's still insane. Just practicing it against him online in Halo 2 a month ago. It's like just getting auto forward by him. I'm like, all right, like what? How's this still a thing? I think he could, if he took it serious, he could be on the top team right now.
In Infinite.
Oh, for sure. He's so naturally like gifted. Like, he's just super talented in any game he touches.
See, age is but a number, everybody, in Halo.
Yep.
Just fucking get him back on the sticks. Oh my God. We need this geriatric crew back in the game. That's what we need. Holy shit. That'd be amazing.
Especially with the Bandit and the way the meta was last year. I think he'd be really good in this game.
Love that.
I don't know what happened to him in Halo 5. I'm sure it's just like, once you get a job and like life happens, it's hard to compete, for both him and Lunchbox. Mm-hmm. And you start to fizzle out placing wise a little bit. It's not like they were placing bad, but I think they were placing like mid, top 6, top 8, or whatever it was. My Halo 5 memory is rusty, but I did my research a little bit over the years, just because it's like, oh shit, like who's bound, like who's like, you know what I mean? Like, when I came back, I just didn't understand who these players were.
Yeah, times changed, man. Yeah. Times have changed drastically during the H5 era. All right, Will, take it away for those.
All right. Who has been the funniest teammate of any time in your Halo career?
Probably Defy. He was probably one of my best friends in Halo. We never placed particularly well when we teamed, but yeah, he was in my wedding too. He was a groomsman, so that's awesome. A little biased answer, but yeah, him he quit back in Halo 3 or maybe in beginning of Reach. And more recently, like I like Rain. Rain was pretty funny too. I coached him, but yeah, Rain was really funny. Just because he has like this, he just kind of keeps himself, but like, I don't know, maybe like accidentally funny too. It's weird. We had some interesting scrims with some of our rosters. So some good times.
Jesus
to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Last for this section, what was the montaging process like back in the day?
I tried to get into montages in Halo 2, and in the beginning it was literally recording on your VCR with VHS tapes. So I had like, and my parents got so mad at me for this, but I had like these tapes of like me as a kid, and I recorded over them with my Halo gameplay.
No.
And I had like 6 or 7 tapes in full, and I sent them to this guy that lived in New York who I was really close with, like on Halo anyways.
Yeah.
And he had made a montage. And I'm like, oh, if I send you all these tapes, will you go through them? Like, I have a lot of clips. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever. And I sent him, and then he never made it. So I have a lot of lost files there.
No.
But in Halo 3 it was super easy. Like the theater system in Halo 3 was like so ahead of its time. It's God tier. Like you just go to theater. It's the same as your gameplay that you played. You save a clip and then you upload it to your file share. Then you have the editor just download it. And so in Halo 3, any clips I got, I would save, put in the file share, and delete them so no one else could steal them. Sometimes you could look up random YouTube clips of like Bestman Halo 3 and see like a gameplay or something that I have in there just because I put in my file share for a minute.
Yeah.
There's like file share watchers back in the day. It was crazy. But yeah, the process was like, I guess for me, there was like a casual and a competitive side, and I like both. There was a guy named Campy.
Yeah.
You guys might be familiar with. He was like into the casual side, but he was also a really good player. So I eventually just became friends at some point, and I released a Halo 3 montage. I released a Halo 2 montage actually later on after those tapes with a guy named Dysphoria. You can watch it on YouTube. It's a dual-tage. But then I made a Halo 3 montage that did pretty well. A lot of people had good feedback, and then after that, I kind of went into the casual side of montaging, and I have I had a newfound respect for that because it's hard to get clips. Even though you're playing casual social playlists, like it's hard to get like a Killionaire or all these multi clips. Like there's another set of skill to it, and I always respected the montagers for that. Kind of like your Mint Blitz, your what's the name? Mint Blitz.
Yep.
Your Eli X, like those type of players. Like I love watching them because they play 10 cents and they hit all these like crazy snipes. And that's what I was trying to do back in Halo Reach Anniversary. And I did release a couple montages back then too, and one of them that Campy actually edited and didn't even take credit for it. He just edited for me for free, and I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, let me pay you. He's like, nah, it's fine. I'll do it. And I was like, all right. So I actually have a montage edited by Campy, so it feels pretty special.
God, I miss that man so much. I miss his vibes probably more than anything. Him and Ola obviously miss those vibes.
It sucked. He just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I think Halo 5 just took a toll on him. He was grinding a lot from what I remember.
Oh yeah. Tune into his streams all the time, and then like you said, he just kind of up and fell off the face of the earth. And obviously like him and like Ola and everybody that has, we obviously wish them the best and hopefully everything's okay. It just sucks that like you don't even really get like a status update anymore. It's literally just whenever they decide if they ever want to pop back up. So, like I said, hopefully they're doing okay. In terms of the montaging aspect, like because obviously one of the most iconic portions about a montage, but besides the clips, is obviously the music choices, right? When creating a montage or when talking to an editor, are you selecting the music that you want included, or are they picking it based off of the clips that you're providing? Or is it like a both scenario?
I probably both. I think the only time I had any say was in my Reach ones, and I just use like kind of like your like drum and bass music in a couple of them, and like and at that time we were monetizing our videos, so I remember me and Campy were reaching out to like obscure smaller record labels with bands and stuff that we found, and like, hey, do we have permission, can we use your music? And like, oh yeah, sure. And then so we would use their music, and then like 2 or 3 years later, we got copyright strike on 5 of our videos, and we made a dualtage together, and I don't think it exists anywhere anymore. And it's because of that. The music, it was on Machinima too. Actually, I think Machinima shut down, so maybe that's why it doesn't exist.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess both. Like back in the day, like your typical heavy metal rock, like from the Ogres. Like the Ogres got me into like the music I listen to now, essentially, like post hardcore, like that type of stuff. Was from watching montages. So it's like, oh, I gotta use this song on my montage, or I gotta do this. And then in Reach, it was more like D&B or like glitchy type music where you could get sync it up with your sniper shots and kills and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's a bit of both, whatever the editor likes. And
why don't we do you have any opinion as to why we don't see as many montages as we used to?
I think the value of clips have kind of like gone down a little bit, but like I just don't think there's anyone making them either. Like there was always a community of montagers, and I think it just kind of died. The people that are still making them are making like MCC tages, or like, you know what I mean? Like no one's making infinite montages. They're just making MCC still. So I don't know. I guess I'd watch a Blitz. God, why am I butchering his name? A montage, or Campy came back and made something. Like I would love to watch a social montage. Like they have me hooked when I watch. I love both casual and competitive.
Yeah. And Queso said it in chat, point I was going to bring up. Clips nowadays, they go out instantly. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, TikTok. You don't really get a long form media of clips. It's all short form.
Yeah, I think the times have kind of changed with what people's attention span like. It's the whole like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram Reels world now. Instead of like watching a 6-minute YouTube video, it's like, oh, I'll watch this for 40 seconds and move on.
Yep.
God, I just miss those YouTube videos. I just want more of them. Man, I'm just fucking old now, but like I miss it so much. All right, so let's move into Shopify Rebellion here. So Shopify entering the HCS and you coming home to Halo, as a matter of fact. So you retire in 2013, you re-enter the scene with the release of Infinite and become the coach of Shopify Rebellion. How did that partnership with Shopify come to be?
It wasn't in the release. It was actually a few months after. I got hit up. It's all because of Bravo. Bravo hit me up somewhere between like December, January after Raleigh, and he was like, hey, do you remember TLO? He's old StarCraft 2 pro. He's heading up this. He's like a head of like the. I don't know how he worded it back. He's pretty much. He's with Shopify Rebellion. They have an esports program. They have a Halo team. They want a Halo-minded coach because at the time, I think they were using Fallout. I think he does Apex stuff now, but he was from Gears of War as well. So they just wanted the Halo-minded coach, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I do that. And at the time, I had a full-time job. I had a great job. I was living in Iowa at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'll talk to him. So anyways, we set up a meeting, and turns out it's like, oh, this is a full-time position. I was like, wait, what? And and then like, it went from there. I was like, okay, I got a decision to make. It was a little bit of a decision because it was a little bit less money, I think, at the time, and And then ultimately it came down to we were going to move anyways. So I was going to have to leave my job at some point. It just happened to be, I think we moved 8 months after that. So it worked out perfect. I'm glad I took it. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning. Weren't placing well, but they had the potential to be good. That old Gears of War roster plus Mox, who was from Call of Duty. And it obviously turned out to be a great decision because now here I am still in Halo 3 years after. I think it's been 3 years since I've been on Shopify.
Fuck yeah. I was always curious about that, like how, because you've been gone for, I mean, no offense, but like you've been gone for so long, and then like we see Bestman, fucking one of the biggest names in the MLG era, coming back. We're like, what the fuck is going on here? So it's great that they wanted a Halo-minded coach to step in, because that kind of leads into the next question that I have here. The role of coach can mean multiple different things depending upon the team that the coach is a part of, right? So what have you personally brought to the role of Shopify, and what are your goals heading into the 2025 season?
Well, we'll start with the goals. Obviously, first, I think the trajectory of each roster we've made has just gone up, and we've had a lot of variations or different rosters since I joined the team. You know, we went from top 32 open bracket to, picking up Ryan Ubenrain to start the next season, and then starting in the top 6 and kind of just being that top 6, top 8 range all year. And then, going and then picking up Soul Snipe and Suppressed at the beginning of last year, and then kind of propelling us into the top 4, top 3 all year. So, so now I just think it's like Shopify Rebellion loves Halo. They're here to support. So it's just like we just want to make it to the finals now. Make that next step where we just got so close last year. I think our team was great last year, but I just don't think that we didn't have the ability to win. And it's like, okay, the first time it happened, it's like, okay, it's our first time being here. Second time it happens, it's like, okay. Third time, it's like we get a little bit better, but still fall short. So I think it's just, it's all about winning this year for goals. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a few great teams. Competition's tight last year. It's going to be tight again this year. And as far as the role I bring, it's to be determined for this year, but over the last couple of years with the different rosters, it kind of have to change a little bit. Last year was a more so of just trying to stay on schedule, trying to get as best practice as we could, which we didn't get all the time. We didn't get the most quality of practice, especially towards the end of the year. I think there's a multiple slew of reasons for that, or multiple reasons for that happening, and the biggest one just being Halo Infinite Online. It's hard to lock in for a full scrim, but when you're getting paid and it's your job, like, there should be some sort of accountability there. And, that was one of our issues last year that kind of bled into tournament gameplay. Because it's like, scrims are one thing, but you want to practice how you want to play in a tournament. And I think that's why SSG was so good. Like, I think they started finally, always had that notion of, like, they didn't try online. But I think once they picked up Legend, like, they took online more serious than I think they ever have. And it showed, like, they won every event except one. And they won a lot of online cups. They won in scrims a lot. They hardly lost scrims. Kind of like how Optic was the first year, but they actually won events last year at majors. So I think that's very important this year. Is just try to we'll talk about the roster later, but just try to build a roster that's going to compete online like how we are at the tournament.
Awesome. Will, do you want to take the next couple?
Yeah. So, again, on the coaching side, what's the hardest part of coaching a Halo team? Or maybe what's something that you have to do that people don't see from the outside?
I think just like controlling some personalities is probably the hardest part. Coaching an Infinite is not the hardest job in the world, but I think when you get, I think anyone can attest to certain players and certain teams. Like, you're just going to naturally have egos. You're naturally going to have conflicting ideologies on how to play Halo, or what to do. And you eventually get to a point where players start talking behind each other's backs, and then you kind of really like, dude, we can't do this. Like, we're in the middle of a season. We're like a week before a tournament. Like, this is not good. I think that's the hardest part, is just like one of the toughest parts is just trying to keep everyone happy and on the same page. I think that's something you'll probably see with the upcoming roster announcements and stuff, is like people just kind of change opinions and sort of make their own like duo or their own clique on the team, and someone gets left out, or whoever leaves, whatever. And I think that's probably the hardest part, is just trying to keep the team happy, because we kept the same roster all last year, and I was proud of that. There's pretty much a change on every team except the top, or maybe I guess Sentinels did change, but us, Optic, SSG, and FaZe didn't change all year. And I was happy that we stuck together and grinded it out. But ultimately we fell flat at Worlds. After a few, like, I think our last few months of going into Salt Lake City and Worlds was kind of tough, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the hardest part of coaching, and kind of showed in our placings. I think we got lucky at Salt Lake City; we had an easy bracket, but our play was not great leading into those two tournaments online.
Yeah, and we have heard you can have great players, but if they're not vibing, if they're not gelling together, it can be disastrous.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's not like you want to be texting behind people's backs, and I think that happens a lot on a lot of different teams.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people are naturally going to have egos, and you're dealing with younger players too. It's not like everyone's a 31-year-old vet like Eco or something.
True. Very true.
Do you have any advice for someone who's just starting out on their esport coaching journey?
That's a tough one. You probably just have to, the best advice would just be to play the game. Because I remember when I first got interviewed, like, I played Hit Infinite, but I wasn't like playing all the time. So I'm just like, you know what, I'll get this job easily. And then I'm like, holy shit, I don't know anything about Infinite. And so I had to grind for like 2 or 3 weeks straight and like look up all the times and look up all the maps. And I'm like, all right, I watched Raleigh back. I'm like, damn, I can't wing this. Like, I thought I could. So yeah, that's probably my best advice, is just keep, grind a game, watch professional gameplay. And you could probably find some tutorials on like timing and stuff like that. When it gets more intricate into like tournament gameplay, it's an easy job per se, but like sometimes when it's intense, you can forget times. I forgot times. Everyone's forgotten a time, but that's like trying to focus on watching 4 screens in front of you at the tournament, and then keeping track of times, especially since they took our phones away. That's probably the most important advice I can give.
Look at that. From winging it to multiple awards.
Look at that. That's crazy. So Will, you had asked like if there's something that the people don't like know that a coach, has a hand in doing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to ask this, Bestman. Obviously, like when the HCS does listen-ins and whatnot, they can hear the comms and whatnot. They can hear the coach if the coach is in comms as well. How frequent are you in those comms? Like, are you strictly doing call-outs for like things that are coming up, or you obviously said you have to be paying attention to all 4 screens at any given time? Are you also assisting on like calling things out other than power equipment, power weapons, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I think I was probably, if anything, over calming last year, and I had to try to dial it back a little bit. But yeah, I'm never trying to like repeat callouts. I will when we're online scrimming, because I'm just watching one screen, like usually just one POV, maybe 2. But like at events, I'm trying to just like relay comms to teammates and like important stress comms, and then mostly just doing timing and like any crucial information that the team might need about, if the clock is running out for playing time or not on hill. Just so that there's no wasted time and like thinking. It's like, okay, are we playing time? We're up 2-0. There's a minute 50 left, or are we going to cap this hill? It's all situational when it comes to Infinite. It's all about timings, spawns, and being able to like shoot straight. Like that's literally what Infinite. It's almost like Call of Duty now. so yeah, like I try not to overcome, and with the new roster, we'll see how it goes. Be an adjustment for sure because we'll have a brand new team. So,
All right.
I think if you'd watch like a few of our games, and they do listen-ins, I probably calm more than I should, and I was trying to work on that towards the end of the year because I don't want to flood comms. I don't want to talk over people.
Absolutely. So, the 2022 and 2023 rosters and the continual changes there, and then ending up on the 2024 kind of rebuild is what I'm going to call it. So there were players including Cherish, Precision, Explosive, Mo, Diagram, Solars, Carmea, Neuronical, Mental, and Cycle. And then for the 2024 season, you had Cycle, Mental, Soul Snipe, and Suppressed, which was obviously a fantastic roster that did very well throughout the entire year. Obviously, like the players on the team had awards to show for it. You had awards to show for it. But you had mentioned earlier, and I want to bring it up now, not to talk about a lot of negative things, but it was kind of a thorn that stuck out your guys' side all year. That Sunday curse that kept taking place. Are you like, I know you kind of briefly mentioned it earlier, but are you able to elaborate further on just like what happened there?
I think there's a lot of things that happen, but I think the more in-depth thing is I think that Slayers kind of messed us up. Like when we played a Slayer on a Sunday, it was just like an auto L, and like when you have to play two Slayers, that's tough. So like if we have like a bad game one, say we have like Argyle Flag game one, like that was like our worst game type. So we lose that, and then we have like a recharge Slayer, and it's like shit, we're trash at Slayer now. When all year we were like known as like being the best Slayer team, especially the first couple events. Mm-hmm. And I think towards the end of the year, like we just couldn't play Slayer, and I think it was like a fundamental thing. Like we didn't know how we wanted to play, and when it came to tournament gameplay, some of us are playing too slow, some of us are playing too fast. And when you play against Optic or SSG on Slayers, it was just like you have to be playing your best to compete. You can't just wing it on Slayers. Like I know a lot of people think Slayers are random, but like when you're playing good teams like that, they're usually going to win. Like the better team's going to win the Slayers. And so I think we just got and I'm not coping at all, but we got screwed by game types a lot. If we had Argyle, CTF, or Street Slayer in our first two, like it was just so hard for us. And I think that's what we played against Optic. Like we played Optic at Atlanta. We had that live fire ball where Lucid had the overkill. We were up in that game round 3, and that was like the tide that kind of changed everything. And then we load up map 2 at Street Slayer. We get 50-30'd. And then game 3 is Argyle CTF, and it's just like, all right, like GG, I guess. But it's no excuse. Like you want to be good at every game type. Some teams just have weaker game types than others, and ours happen to be pretty much any Slayer. Like Streets, Plaza, and Argyle CTF was just auto L's for us at the end of the year for some reason.
So okay, I do want to not necessarily push back, but I do want to ask a follow up regarding that. So obviously, like you said, every team can have like a not so great game type map combination, whatever it may be, but this is what the practice is for. This is what those scrims are for. This is what those online opens are for, so on and so forth. So throughout the year, like, are you able to provide a reason as to why things didn't necessarily change? Like why Street Slayer just continue to be a pain point? Why Argyle CTF just continue to be a pain point?
I think our scrimming habits just kind of translated over. Like the quantity of the quality of our scrims were not great. And I think they translate more than some people wanted to come to terms with or not. Like I just think scrimming is important. Even if you're just going through the motions, but as long as you like put effort in and like get something new out of that scrim, or learn something new, or learn something different, or just at least have some sort of discussion about a game or two, that's going to be better than just like getting on, playing, and getting off. And I think that was a little bit of our problem that translated to tournaments. I mean, even online tournaments, we kind of fell off towards the end too. Like we had that stretch before London where like we beat SSG online on a couple of the cups, and we were winning scrims, and it translated. Like we get to London, we We kind of dominate our first couple of matches or whatever. Then we play SSG and just 3-0 them. And that's just like, I just felt like we were so good in the beginning of the year because, one, we were playing more freely because we weren't a top team at the time. Like, we knew we could beat those teams. And then two, like, I thought our scrim schedule was great, and we boot camped before London as well in Toronto. I think we went down to the LVT Orlando and lost that, and then we went to Toronto and practiced there. And I think that was really helpful. And then we flew over to London. And then after that, we just kind of like coasted. And, part of that could be on me, but I think we just need to have players take accountability. And hopefully next year I can work on that. And, and I'll help having two newer players on the team that have been there before. So
good. Will.
From the negative to the positive here, what was your favorite moment of the 24 season?
Probably that SSG win in London.
Yeah.
That was fun. I was on no sleep, so I was riding on pure adrenaline. And I think everyone was, right? Like, everyone's complaining about the sleep schedules and whatever, but
jet lag.
Yeah, like, I think SSG only lost twice last year, 3 times maybe. Us, and then Optic twice maybe. Optic and the losers at London, and then Optic and the winners at Salt Lake City. So it was it felt good to like beat them because I had always thought SSG was the best team, even when they weren't winning. Like the year before, I just thought that they had the most complete team, and they just never really put it together. So when they picked up Legend, I'm like, shit, like they're gonna be even better now. And they proved it after that first event. And I mean, we kind of derailed things a little bit, beating them at London. Like, who knows? They almost lost to Sentinels at London too. Like, they've almost lost a lot, but like that's what good teams do. They just find a way to win. Just like that Cloud9 series. Like, it's all like they could have been top 12, but instead they won the event.
Yeah.
Oh, that series that was crazy.
But same with the Sentinels series. Sentinels was up 2-0 on them at London and come back and 3-2 them.
Yep, it's. Whew.
There's nothing worse than getting reverse swept. That's for sure.
I can only imagine. Thankfully, I've never been put in that situation, where I've been good enough to be competing at that level and then get reverse swept. Thankfully, I've never been in that situation. Fuck. All right. Let's move into 2025 here. I wanted to ask this because this was and we verified that we could talk about this before we started recording because I didn't want to just spring this upon you. There was the roster, CTLL, which was Cycle, Trippy, Lucid, and Last Shot. So I wanted to ask you the formation and quick disbandment of that roster. Clearly, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that folks are not able to see. Regarding that roster, are you able to explain that process of the formation and subsequent disbandment of it?
Yeah, I think the formation of it was, well, after Worlds, we knew we were going to make a change. We just didn't know how drastic it would be, I guess, or how big of a change it would be. So we were looking into getting Last Shot like right away. And, just kind of talking to him, whatever. It was still early, right? Like, this is like the first week after Worlds, or first couple weeks or whatever it was. And, something just happened one day where Cycle got a message from Trippy, and Trippy message said, "Hey, we want to do this team. What do you think?" And Cycle was like, "I'm down." And so I had to go back and talk to Shopify and be like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Obviously, we have Mental on the roster, but this could be potentially a roster." So we essentially just had to choose what roster we thought was going to be, contending. And it sucked that Mental got left out because I wanted him part of the future of Shopify Rebellion. But that's sort of what happened. They said that, hey, we can get an org, or, we can join you guys. And that was pretty much it. Like, it happened really fast, and we're like, okay, let's do this. Like, this is kind of like what we wanted. We wanted to get that veteran leadership to go along with Cycle. And and obviously we got Last Shot too. And so yeah, everything kind of moved quick. I don't want to get into specific like details of what happened, but we had re-signed Cycle and signed Last Shot, and Trippy and Lucid were still waiting on Optic to release them officially or wait for their contracts to expire, whatever the case was. And in that time, we got a message from Lucid saying, "Hey, I have another offer. I'm going to go with these guys." And we said, "Okay, it sucks." But, we had always pretty much had like a verbal agreement on the team. You can't blame somebody for choosing another roster that they think is better or think that they can win with. So it is what it is. You can't really dwell on it too much. Whenever their roster's announced, people will see. And so yeah, we were kind of a little bit shell shocked at that happening. And then we still had Trippy, and we kind of had to decide. This took a few weeks to process. There was like really nothing after this all happened. The bombshell was dropped. Nothing really happened for a while. Everyone was still waiting on Optic to release their players, and everyone in the pro community kind of knew like what was going on a little bit. So there was this real like null area of like nothing happening, and it's like, who are we gonna get? What are we gonna do? And it's like, we'll figure it out once the other news drops, like more dominoes fall into place, etc.
Yep.
And then we just got to a point where it's like, we wanted to pick up, I don't know if you can talk about this now, but we wanted to pick up Royal 2. And then it came down to like sticking with Trippy or going after Frosty and having more of a solidified package on the team that had, because essentially if we did the other roster, it'd be 4 random people all together on this team.
Right.
And that's kind of something I looked at. I was like, that just doesn't make sense too much to me. I wanted to get more structure with Frosty and Roll 2. So that's ultimately what the team decided to go with. And Trippy just, he was unofficially on the roster, I guess, just like Lucid was. And, I would have loved to have teamed with them, but it just kind of came down to a business decision towards the end. And that's pretty much the brief version of it. Pretty much Lucid, Trippy verbally committed, Lucid backed out. Then we just waited for the whole Optic news to happen. They eventually released all their players. And so and then I guess SSG released Bound and Legend today.
Yep.
So it was just a whole lot of waiting, and we finally got it wrapped up and officially announced. And so glad we got Last Shot signed early, Cycle re-signed. We wanted them to be the future of Shopify Rebellion for Halo, especially for when the new game does come out as well. It's nice to have like young solidified talent, and I think they're the future. I think there could be 2 of the best players in the game. And to get Frosty and Roll 2 to go along with them is pretty crazy, because I mean the amount of winning they've done in the past, and even as recently as last year, is really what I'm looking forward to. Just getting those players that have been there before to kind of teach like these young superstars like what to do.
So based off what you're saying, it sounds like it was kind of already a slight given, but hearing you talk about it more definitively here sounds like that Shopify are hard committed for Halo for not only now but the future as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad to be a part of Shopify Rebellion. It sucks that we had to make such a big decision, because essentially we rebuilt the team again, but with just one player. We wanted to make a change, but just stuff happens, and I wish all the former teammates the best, with their rumored rosters or the rosters that have been announced. I'm sure they'll be coming back for blood against us, so we got to stay on our toes for those matchups next year. So, as people should already hopefully understand at this point, is that the new roster is in fact Cycle, Last Shot, Royal 2, and Frosty. 2 of the greatest to ever do it, teaming up with 2 of the youngest rising stars, as Nick has detailed earlier as well. You already kind of talked about how Royal 2 and Frosty came to Shopify. So Will, what do you have listed there?
I'm gonna change this one a little bit.
Oh, feel free, do it up.
So with the new roster forming, What are you looking forward to seeing from each of the new players?
For one, I'm looking to see how they like interact with each other because I mean, I think only Cycle and Last Shot have really played with together in Halo, so that'll be interesting. I've known Royal 2 for a long time. I had team with them, which was alluded to in the announcement video back when he was. I said 16, but I think he might have been 15, which is actually insane. But because I was looking at his age and he's 7 years different than me, so if I was 22, he would have been 15, maybe 16, depending on the birthday. But so I've known him for a while, so I get along with him really well, and just recently talked with Frosty. Actually, I had lunch with him last weekend when I was driving through Austin before we officially announced the roster. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing how everyone interacts with each other, how the play styles come together. I think we have a lot of slang power, and I think that's what FaZe was like last year, but obviously they came up short. So I'm hoping to build off those mistakes of what FaZe was doing last year, because I think a lot of their play styles just didn't really mesh well together. So I want to kind of try to fix that for Frosty and Roll 2 with the two new younger players that they aren't familiar with. Basically just seeing how they interact with each other, how the play styles affect.
Do you guys have I know it's early. I know it's very early. But do you guys have a defined IGL at this point?
I'd say Frosty.
Okay. Had a feeling, but just wanted to ask to make sure.
Yeah. And I know Frosty's also done, he's won a lot, but he won in Call of Duty with a younger unknown roster as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he'll be in that role, because I think Snakebite has always kind of been the IGL of FaZe or Sentinels, or that team. It's kind of crazy that they aren't teaming together, but Frosty, Road 2, and Snakebite, especially Road 2 and Snakebite, because I think they've literally been teaming since Royal 2 left, or since me and Royal 2 teamed. The event after I teamed with Royal 2, he teamed with Snakebite. And they teamed ever since. It's kind of wild.
Shout out Quantic Fire.
Yeah, that was I think Quantic was the org. I think they had a Call of Duty team as well, and it had Aches was on that team.
Oh my god!
And I forget who else, but it was back when Call of Duty was at. It was Call of Duty and Halo in 2011.
God, it's fucking
Raleigh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. One of the longest, if not the longest running duo in esports, I think. Not just Halo esports, but potentially esports in general. And yeah, they're no longer teaming together anymore, and that team is, for lack of a better phrase, blown up at this point. So I'm just we see ends of eras in this scene, not very frequently. And so when we see an end of an era of this kind of magnitude, where you have one of the longest running dynasties, I mean, obviously Lethal was released, they brought in Renegade, and then they win a world championship as well. And you're like, when are these guys going to stop? And then after this unfortunate performance over the 2024 season, team kind of blows up. You guys get two of the greatest players of all time, along with two of the most highest potential players in the scene by far. And then obviously without full announcements taking place, we'll see where the other two land. But it's just, this Rostermania has been fucking insane. And I can't think of another year. Honestly, I can't think of another year. Maybe you might have a better idea of a year like this has happened in the earlier days. But I can't remember a year like this ever happening in Halo esports, where you literally have a team, like you said, that won 4 out of 5 events in a world championship over this last fucking season, and they're like, no, we don't want to stick together either. So
yeah, I can't think of another year. There's obviously been crazy changes that have happened, or something crazy has happened, but I've never seen literally every roster change. Especially a team that won 4 out of 5 No, I've never seen that.
It's just fucking
I mean, I remember like the biggest thing back in the day was like Neighbor left straight ripping after they won for Final Boss because Gilbert Arenas gave him like a $20,000 signing bonus to be on the team or something like that. An NBA basketball player. Like that was like the craziest news back then. That was probably what I would equate it to, because I think straight ripping won Anaheim or San Diego. I can't remember. Someone in the chat. And that they're as old as me would remember. And yeah, he went to Final Boss. That's when Final Boss dropped Walshy. Like that was like the huge news. Like that's the only time I could think of like that kind of equivalent to.
That's crazy.
Because like every other offseason is just normal, and there was no contract. There's no salary teams back then. Like there was players that were making money, or maybe a few teams that were getting some salary. Like MLG had these $250,000 contracts that they gave out, but they never even fully paid. They were just marketed as, oh, look at our new players that are signed to this contract, and they got some money, but there was no like salaries. There was no buying people out. There was no none of how it is now in the new age of esports. So it's definitely more shocking now that something like this can happen when teams are under contract or players are under contract.
Absolutely. Also, Lottie, we see you in the chat. Shout out to Lot. She's amazing. Always love being able to conversate with you at events, and obviously it's great to hear that everybody are still friends, because when they've been teaming as long as they had, I would only hope that they were still friends and everything. And
oh yeah.
So, and obviously seeing everybody at your guys' wedding, like in the pictures and whatnot, it's great. And we love you too. All right. Shall we move on to the fastest yet not as fast segment as it usually is?
Let's go.
All right. Rapid fire. You ready, Bestman?
Nope.
Oh God.
Nope. That's good, because
I'll try. Because every answer I have to think.
Yeah, this like never ends up being rapid fire not. Every time.
All right, I'll try my best.
It's the running fucking joke of our interviews is that it never is fast. All right, favorite food?
Sushi.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Favorite movie?
Oh, that's tough. It changes so much.
Recently. It can be recent. I don't care.
Recently? I mean, I just rewatched Interstellar.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Is that your favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
I really like... Come on. I really like Memento.
Oh, wow. Throwback. Okay.
Yeah. That one's great. That was like the one you watch where you want to get into like these mindfuck movies or whatever. You're like, oh, you got to watch it twice to understand what's even going on. I really like Tenet too. I think Tenet was underrated.
Fuck yeah. You couldn't hear much, but yeah, the movie's great.
Yeah, it got I mean, people are like, oh, I don't understand, or like whatever. Like people are just like, it's dumb. I think it's great. I think Christopher Nolan's one of the greats for sure.
God, I love Bestman more every day now. Goddamn. Favorite musical artist or group?
Right now, Boundaries.
Okay. So this is not Boundaries, but I have to ask this question. How fucking great is that Knocked Loose record?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. I would say them too, but I've been listening to Boundaries more. Yeah, Knocked Loose. I'm glad. I'm happy for them too. Like they put the scene on the map.
Oh yeah,
they're getting a lot of hate now too, because
Jimmy Kimmel.
They're big, or they're not like, they're turning, like, you know what I mean, commercial. Anytime with these musical scenes where some artist gets big or a band gets big, they get hated on. It's like, dude, like, your scene's never gonna grow if someone doesn't make it for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, and they never lost who they were. Like, they still sound
really heavy. Yeah, they're really heavy.
They're Knocked Loose, motherfucker. Like, it's not difficult. All right, your favorite sport and team?
Unfortunately, NBA and the 76ers. Very unfortunate.
This is not a rapid fire question, but I'm curious your thoughts. Embiid and load management.
What about it?
I want to know your thoughts. Are you like, as long as he's healthy, it's okay? Or like, do you want him to fucking be playing all the time? Like,
no, I want him to be healthy. I'd rather him play. I'd rather him be like, because this year's already been a disaster. He's already had injuries and everything. I want it to be like next year. It's like, okay, I'm not playing back-to-backs. I'm not playing against like the Washington Wizards or something like that. Like, just play your 58 games a year or whatever it is, or 60 games a year and save yourself for the playoffs, because playoffs are grueling. Like the playoffs, you have to play like so many games, and he's never healthy for the playoffs. And it is what it is. Like if you get talent on your team, like they have with Maxey and bringing Paul George in and whoever else they can get, like you should be able to float to the playoffs and like, be a 3 or 4 seed and then just compete from there. Like Boston's ultimately going to be the best team. So you just have to save him for the playoffs to beat Boston. And whatever they have to do to do it, they need to do it, because this year is probably lost. Probably a lost cause this year.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot for something here, because I am very curious about this. Like, obviously, we're not sports media people or anything like that, but I am, as a 76ers fan yourself, I am genuinely curious about this. Okay. At what point are people can hate on me in the chat, I don't fucking care. At what point, if you're just looking at the player themselves, at what point did the injuries become too much and you're like, we just need to get rid of him and start over?
I mean, if the Sixers were like, we want to trade him, I don't think I would be too mad. And that's coming from someone that's pro Embiid. I defend him against my entire friend group, because he just gets made fun of all the time for being injury prone. But I think like, for being soft, but I think that he's not soft. Like, he's played through these injuries when he shouldn't have. He's played a lot when he probably shouldn't have, to try to prove that he isn't. And so yeah, if it came to a point where they wanted to trade him and just be like, just be done with this whole era, then I'd probably accept that. I wouldn't be too upset at this point from this season, because we have Maxey, we have some good younger players, and I mean Paul George is like whatever, like he's never going to be a superstar for your team, but if they could get something in return for Embiid, like I would do it just at this point, because I don't think realistically we're going to win a championship with Embiid. So if they wanted to rebuild or to get a haul from some team for him, then I would do it.
Have you
just because of the injury thing? Like,
yeah,
it's every year, so it's a little daunting to just be like coming every year, like, all right, we got to keep Embiid healthy for 82 games.
That's why I put emphasis on the injury point of that question, because he is injury prone, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah. So have you stopped trusting the process?
I stopped when they got rid of the old GM Sam Hinkie. Okay. I was all on board with him, and they forced him out of the league. I thought he was a brilliant mind. I mean, essentially, he just tanked. It was nothing revolutionary, but he tanked for draft picks. Better, like, you're not gonna, unless you're the Lakers or the Knicks or whoever, you're not gonna trade star players. Not gonna want to go to your team. You have to build from the draft, and that's what he did. And they just so happened that Embiid was hurt for his first 2 years of his career. They just so happens that, they had 3 or 4 losing seasons in a row, and the ownership's like, we were freaking out, we gotta bring someone in, and then they forced him out of the league. And then obviously they got better because they had a lot of assets, they had a lot of draft stock. They got Jimmy Butler. Ben Simmons was a good player at the time, and now he's not anymore. But so I stopped trusting after they got rid of Sam Hinkie, and I missed that era. I really wanted to see what his vision would have been if they kept him around.
All right.
I think it was slightly fulfilled, just getting the star players that they did, but they ultimately traded for Tobias Harris and then paid him a max contract, and he was like one of the worst players I've ever watched play basketball. So
shit.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. Anyways, that's my take. Yeah, it's unfortunately Sixers' favorite team, and I'm a Steelers fan too for NFL, but Sixers are probably number one priority. Ultimately, I've cared less and less as the years go on about sports. I used to be super invested and would emotionally disconnect from reality when my teams would lose, and now it's like, all right, whatever.
Did you see this season happening the way that it did with the Steelers so far?
No, not with when. No, definitely not. I thought we'd be good. Like, I thought we'd be around 500 or maybe a little bit better, just because they have defensive studs. They have Pickens is good, and Najee Harris has been great this year too. So he's obviously trying to prove himself because they declined his option or to pay him or whatever. So I thought we'd be good. I didn't think we'd be this good. And honestly, they should have like maybe 2 more wins. Like, they should maybe only have 2 losses. They kind of choked a couple games away, but
Wow. And us as Vikings fans sitting over here, be like, how the fuck did we have the season we have so far? This is crazy. So, all right. Let's go back to the rapid fire questions. As we said, this is the rapid fire segment that is not actually rapid fire. Favorite Halo game of all time?
Halo 2.
That's bullshit, but okay. Hey, worst Halo game of all time?
Halo 4.
I'm so glad you said that, because if we look back to a video put out by the Astro Gaming YouTube channel from many, many, many years ago, E3 2012, as a matter of fact.
Is this me?
Oh, this is you, my friend. We're not going to watch it, but this is a video that is on the Astro Gaming YouTube channel, just as a heads up for everybody.
I think I remember this.
Bestman was at E3 2012 playing Halo 4, and the grade that you gave it ahead of release was an A. Bestman, do you remember that? The grade you gave it ahead of release was an A.
Hey, we all are paid shills sometimes. It was not worth it to give it an A. Honestly, to be fair, I did think it was good at the time, because I didn't like Reach either. So like I was just looking for anything fresh.
Yeah.
And we played like one game, I think. And yeah, I was curious, where did I give it an A at? It's on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah, I literally
I thought you were going to talk about there's a gameplay of me playing it when they were streaming it, and I like grabbed sniper and I literally missed every shot.
Oh no.
Because and I've seen that clip, and it's like we're like standing up playing on like 27-inch or like 32-inch TVs or whatever, and like you're just kind of like sweat. I was like this with my aimer, like I couldn't aim or anything. And that was the first time I realized you couldn't be de-scoped either. And I was like, wait a second, is this a glitch? Or like, can you turn this back on? Because this isn't Halo. Hello. How am I not being de-scoped right now? I'm just zoomed in. And they're like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And I'm like, what? It's like, oh, they called it flinch or something like that. And I was like, never mind. I just take everything back.
I just love how watching that video and you're like, yeah, we played some like 2s and some 4s on like these different maps and stuff. And everybody has sprint now, but then you get an armor ability as well. And like we're fucking loving Promethean vision. And I'm like, oh no, dude. Oh shit. Oh,
you can add it to the regrets, I guess.
There we go.
Yeah, add that to the regret.
All right, that's fine. That's whatever, man. God, it's just. I'm just glad, because everybody we talk to says that, like, the only reason why I include that, like, the question in the rapid fire segment is because I like it from a casual standpoint, and people give me shit for it, but I just think it's fun every now and again. Since everybody gives the same answer of Halo 4, I'm glad that I had a reference point for you specifically, where you actually sung its praises ahead of release, and now we're adding it to the fucking regrets. So that's fine. Yeah. Whatever, man.
I could say Reach as well.
Fuck yeah, there we go. That's a better take. Thank you. God damn.
I think in retrospect, it's a little bit underrated, but I still think it's the worst Halo.
Wait, which one? 4 Reach?
Or Reach.
I respect that take.
I think it's, when I look back and watch some of the games, I think it was kind of good competitively, but holy shit, like the map cycles are worse than the map cycles now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the maps were so bad. Like we were playing like four gray Forge maps a series, and they were rotating maps out every event. There'd be a new map. Like it was such a bad year. Like and that, combined with the fact that StarCraft 2 just kind of took over MLG at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we were the focal point, and then it went to StarCraft was over here, then StarCraft 2 was right here, and then we're over here, and then slowly, like, you know, the Koreans from StarCraft 2 were coming over, and they were like freaking rock stars back then. And our game was just like 60 teams by the end of the season, which was unheard of for back then.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, like, no bloom, no sprint kind of saved the competitive nature of that game, in my opinion. But still, like, just Reach as a whole, like, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't love no bloom, no sprint.
Wow.
Like, everyone could shoot so fast.
True.
Like, it was kind of like Halo 3 on crack a little bit, with how much like you needed teamwork to just be good. Because I don't know, just there was no skill in no bloom, no sprint, in my opinion. Like there's just no skill. Like it was different. It was more fun because bloom was random in Reach, and it's like, oh, okay, my bullets I can actually work, and so yeah.
I will agree to disagree on the Bloom statement. I can't fucking stand it. But at least we agree that Reach is the worst one and 4 is better than it. So thank you very much for going back on that. Appreciate that. All right. Favorite video game of all time?
Damn, I don't know. Besides Halo 2, probably like, oh, what other game I love back, like Gauntlet Legends or something like that.
Oh, damn. All right. Respect that.
Poll.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm just think of like, when I think of like nostalgia, like I think of like a game like that, or Perfect Dark. I really love Perfect Dark over GoldenEye. Yeah, that's probably it. Probably Halo 2 though. Like Halo 2, I just played so much, it was insane. Oh, shit, what's the game called? Chaos Theory with Spies vs. Mercs. Is that Rainbow or
Splinter Cell? Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell. Yeah, yeah. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, I think, was what it was. That was another one I played a lot, and I love that game. I think they're remaking it or making a new one. Someone in the chat right now. So I don't know.
Least favorite video game of all time?
Um,
And it can't be Halo 4 because it said Reach is worse. So just putting that out there.
Worst video game of all time? Damn, that's hard. I don't know. I can't answer that. Because like maybe shit, I don't know. I got nothing.
All right, so it's Halo Reach. Moving on.
I'm stumped.
Favorite Halo player of all time?
Saiyan.
Wow.
Original Saiyan.
Well, obviously. No offense, Lucid, but yeah, like obviously. Wow. Oh
yeah. I remember first watching his screen, and like he moved. He like played like 5 cents, which was like high for back then. I just loved watching his screen, and like him and Killer N were like some of my favorite players from back in the day, and Gandhi as well. Gandhi had like such a ridiculous snipe, and like it was unique to how everyone else sniped. He kind of like sniped how people snipe in modern day Halo, but he sniped it like 20 years ago. It's hard to explain, but he was so good with it.
That's amazing. Favorite Halo team of all time?
Probably my Triggers Down team, Neighbor, Asteria, and Tots. I think we just like were so close because we literally were landing. We were together for like 5 months essentially, and there was a lot of lows, with like scrimming, and we had these lands before every event, but it was like such a blast. Like it was like some of the best years of my life was just playing Halo 3 in some guy's basement with like 20 other people. 20 other dudes all sleeping like on the most random spots you could think of. Like, no one got hotels back then. Like, we were all poor. So, or kids, we were either kids or we were poor, and we were just sleeping in this guy's basement or around the house. It's kind of funny to think about now, but
it was a sign of the times, man.
Yeah.
It's a sign of the times.
We literally have 16 lands there. So it'd be like straight ripping, instinct, final boss, triggers down, heaven and earth, or like status quo or something like that. And we just land for a week straight.
Were they, I'm sorry to keep going off topic here, but I'm curious about that LAN house environment. Were they always like ordering food for you guys, or like how did that situation go down?
Yeah, I think they would make us food once a day, or like order out catering. Like I remember they would get like Chipotle, or this Italian place, or Famous Dave's, or whatever that barbecue place was called.
Jesus Christ!
Like just like the most random shit. But yeah, they took care of us. Like it was great. I remember like Puckett and Sundance and them came out one time to film something for MLG, and they eventually in the Reach they bought a house just for gaming, the LAN network.
That's amazing.
And I think Fear itself and T Squared lived there for a while, but we eventually did the 4 or 5 team LANs over there instead of at their parents, Tots' parents' house. And that was supposed to be something a lot bigger with MLG, and then the game, just ended up sucking, and like nothing happened with it. Like they were supposed to have like a reality show or something like that. I don't know the exact details, but there was supposed to be some sort of reality show with like the LAN network that never ended up happening.
All right. Favorite Halo event of all time?
Probably. I mean, I want to say like my best placing one, but like it was actually depressing. So I don't know. Favorite event, probably one of the Chicago's events. Like I don't know what it was, but 06, 07 Chicago. We did the most outrageous shit at Sunday nights, and yeah, I know I won't go into details, but a lot of dumb stuff happened. I think they talked about it in the level 50, the Halo 2 throwback tournament. Like Shibby and Puckett were talking about it, like because essentially MLG was just ran by a bunch of like 22, 23-year-olds back then. They were just getting out of college or in college and partying all the time. So yeah, there's a lot of memories from Chicago 06 and 07. And then we got banned after 07 because they said that like the property got trashed. It wasn't even in Chicago. It was in like Pheasant Run or something like that. Pheasant Run, Illinois, or some suburb like 40 minutes away.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, those events were fun. Any event back then was fun. Like just being a kid and going to an event with no expectations, just having fun, playing for the passion.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
All right, Will. Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is it.
This one comes from one of our community members, Swole Daddy.
God damn it.
And we have to ask everybody.
Yeah.
Would you rather have teeth for hair or hair for teeth?
Teeth for hair?
Now keep in mind,
everywhere you have hair
would be teeth. Correct.
Would be teeth.
Or hair for teeth?
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, you got to make a decision. This is important.
Teeth for hair. I can't imagine having hair in my mouth the entire time.
All right, so your teeth for hair.
Yeah, everywhere. Fuck it. It could be worse.
All right.
Just remember, you got to get like root canals if you ever want, things. If you want teeth removal.
Oh, so they're like real teeth. They have.
Oh
like,
yeah, they're legit
like
fucking teeth.
Where are they connected to though? Like
the human body's a wonderful thing. Jesus Christ! All right, cool.
All right.
That's.
I can already I taste the hair in my mouth just like thinking about it. maybe I don't know, teeth under my armpits and all my legs. Oh yeah, you know what, you're right. You know what, yeah, it might be the other way around. I'm thinking about it more and more.
Oh my god. All right, well, Nick, that's all we've got. So thank you so very much for taking the time to do this. We know we've been in talks for months for like, when are you going to be on, all that fun shit. So we finally are able to do it. Obviously you're invited on anytime you want. Like, I hope you understand that it's an open invitation. But with the official announcement of the roster, we thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to get you on, talk a little about the old, talk about the new, everything looking forward to for 2025 and beyond. So Nick, the floor is yours. Anything you want to say before we cut to a break here?
No. Yeah, just excited for another year of Halo. Glad you guys are doing this weekly. It's nice to have consistent content. That goes for anyone that's still streaming or making any YouTube videos or whatever. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
And thank you for being on, and good luck to you and the team in 2025. Hopefully you guys can cause some shakeups in these top placings. Maybe get yourself a win, maybe multiple. We'll have to wait and see.
That's the goal.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Bestman here. We're going to cut to a short break, and when we come back, we'll be back with the regular show. It's going to be short, so just be prepared for that. See you soon.
Boom. We're back.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby! What's up, everybody? Hello. Oh, I'm sorry, Will. I meant to say competitive Halo news. My apologies, because it's like we're going off the top. You know what I mean?
I pressed the wrong button.
It's okay. We love you too, Absent. Hey, being a Bears fan, I feel like a lot of people who are Bears fans right now hate being Bears fans. I think that's a given, right? You know, it is what it is. All right. Real quick, before we actually get into the remainder of the actual show here, I want to give a shout out to everyone who followed and subbed over the Bestman interview. That includes Sin with the 6-month resub, John with the 19-month resub, Ashley with the 21-month resub, Blackout with the 13-month resub, Ayara with the follow, Broken Hawk with the 3-month resub, Monster and Tusk and Pablo with the follows, Theatrical with the gifted sub to Jen, Tyler with the 5-month resub, and Danny Phantom with the 15-month resub. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo, 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 woo! Thank you so much for the subs and resubs and the gifted subs and all the fucking follows and shit. You guys are great. Will!
Yeah.
I'm going to make you hit the button anyway. Competitive news. A look back at the HCS 2024 season by the HCS. You can go check out that article or don't. Yo, Clutch Academy with the 10-month resub. You get a woo! Another one. So go check that article out if you're interested. It includes all the VODs and everything for like all the events over the course of the year. So, and like I think photo albums as well. All that fun stuff. Go check it out if you haven't already. And then Frantic teases the future for native gaming. This is by Frantic, and he states 2025 native gaming will be going crazy with content creators, events, and our community. Can't wait to get after it. Brian, we can't wait to get after it either. So, you know, hurry up and announce the roster so we can have you on the show again, and then we can fucking get to talking. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Hurry the fuck up. Goddamn. Yo, Ronan with the 10-month resub. You get a woo! Thank you so much, Ronan. Greatly appreciated. That's it for the competitive news. Almost said regular again. God damn it. Will, what do we got next? Rostermania!
All right. As you just heard, we spoke about it a little bit in the interview there, but the end of an era. We have some posts from the FaZe crew. Start with Snakebite. And he says, end of an era. We changed our lives together, and I will always wish these guys nothing but the best in life. Couldn't be more proud to have been your teammate for all these years. Royal 2 says, we'll always remember and cherish these squads. Frosty, so many great moments throughout the years. We built a true dynasty and found a way to win in every era we played in. Always appreciated that we all had the same goal no matter what. Renegade, always loved going to battle with you guys. Grateful to be a part of the roster you guys made into a dynasty. And then a post from Lottie as well. Some of the longest standing teammates in the history of esports. It's a very sad day, but I'm also excited professionally for all of them with the next chapter. Love you guys.
Will, before you talk about the bombshell that happened today.
Yeah.
So this is tough, right? Because I said it during the interview as well. These types of rosters, they don't come around very often. And frankly, they don't come around very often in any esport.
Yeah.
And we're talking about CLG Optic Talk Sentinels FaZe, right? And they, like it was stated in those statements, they had won in every era of the game. Not only won in every area, they dominated in every era. They won multiple world championships across multiple titles. They were, and I mean this, and I know that there was a whole it was the whole discourse online for a few months earlier, right? The whole topic about dynasties. They were it. They were the last remaining dynasty in this esport. If Space Station would have stuck together and you'll talk about what they just did. But if they would have stuck together and they would have won another world championship, they would have been a dynasty in my eyes, and we're never going to be able to see that. This CLG Optic Talk Sentinels phase roster, it's officially over. Obviously, they had released Lethal a while ago. They brought in Renegade, won another world title. But it's unprecedented. This does not happen often at all in any title. And in Halo, we were lucky to have two. We were lucky to have two real bona fide dynasties. Final boss from the old era, CLG Optic Talk Sentinels phase in the new era. And I don't know if we're ever going to see something like this ever again. Because changes happen so rapidly. And I mean, even Nick kind of agreed that we hadn't seen anything like this year's Rostermania ever before.
Right.
So it's great when we heard Lottie come in here and say that everybody's still really good friends. They all still love each other. There's no ill will towards anybody. Maybe everybody just understands need to go in different directions, right?
Yeah.
But like this is it's fucking they've been together for so long, Will. At least that trio, regardless of Lethal, but like that core had been together for so fucking long that you can't. It's so weird because in the back of your mind, you're like, are they ever going to break up? Like, if they keep winning, like, are they ever going to,
Yeah.
It's a weird concept to me that now we're in this world in Halo esports in 2025 where they're not together anymore. And yes, obviously we're still waiting for the two big rosters to be announced, but like, wow. That's all I just have to, wow. That's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. And this is, you say unprecedented for what they did. We also have a season 4 of HCS, which we haven't had before.
Unprecedented.
Makes me wonder if it was just the 3 seasons like normal, would they have stuck together going into the next game? Who knows? Maybe they'll come back together. But we're going to see these players for the first time on different teams going on head to head. And I think it's going to be great, to be honest.
There was a Reddit thread, and I know, be careful going on Reddit, everybody, but like there was a Reddit thread when Shopify announced their roster. And they're talking about like where they expect this team to place, like, oh, they're super excited for this team. Oh, like where other players going to land. Obviously people have ideas where other players are going to land, blah, blah, blah. But like what sticks in the back of my mind is that you're right. These players are going to be playing against each other for kind of like the first time, maybe ever. Right.
Yeah.
And not just them, but other players as well that may have been released from other organizations or whatever. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fires lit under people's asses this year. Like, I am so damn excited to see these matchups happen because like we said earlier, there's so much that happens behind the scenes already that at the end of the day, right, it's all business.
Yeah.
But I'm so fucking excited for this. It's going to be insane.
Yeah. 100%.
Like when you have a player that has the drive to win, and well, like you mentioned earlier, like as long as people are gelling correctly, any one of these teams can be fucking dangerous. So, I'm excited.
Just
I'm
wait.
Excited.
We just gotta wait.
I'm excited.
All right. The piece of news that was announced today.
Yes.
Sorry, SSG fans and Bound fans.
He's fucking calling out Diode directly.
A little bit.
That
Sorry.
was fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Space Station releases Bound and Legend, and they said our great journey together ends here. 3 out of 4 majors plus world champs. Bound and Legend helped us build a dynasty.
Not a real dynasty.
Let me finish. Bound and Legend helped us build a dynasty that Halo history will never forget.
Maythor, if you're the one that wrote that tweet, they're not a real dynasty. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry.
They're a year dynasty.
No. Tusk with Mickey dynasty. You know what? If you want to give him that term, Tusk, fuck it. I'm just saying, like, I said it before and I'll say it fucking again. I hate when we throw around the term dynasty all loosey fucking goosey. Oh, you dominated in a single year. Congratulations. You're still not a dynasty. Thank you. And I know you're trying to hype up the players and all that stuff. I understand. But let's fucking cool the jets. We've had 2 solidified dynasties in Halo esports. Neither of them are SSG from 2024. Just going to say that. But regardless, yes, this announcement finally happened. The first real domino fell with Optic finally announcing the releasing of their players and keeping formal. And now you guys are finally seeing more of these dominoes actually falling. Because once that one, that was the start. Once that one started, now everything else is falling into place. We expect the additional rosters to be announced relatively soon. Whether it be this month, whether it be in January, we expect them to be announced relatively soon. So we'll just have to wait and see. W Rant, thank you, Tusk. Also, Tusk, don't think I didn't see you message earlier in the chat being like, I call next interview on the show. If you want to DM us on Twitter because of what we potentially know, and if that actually does happen, we can maybe make something happen.
My people will reach out. All right.
If by your people reach out, meaning you, because it better be fucking you. Okay?
Get the agents on the phone.
Yeah, fuck that.
Call reception. They'll patch you through.
Jesus Christ. All right.
That's it for Rostermania.
Yeah, real quick before we move on, though, I think we should stick on this just for a second. Because there was a lot of discourse as well before the rumor mill started, right? Of where, I'm sorry if you already clicked over, I apologize.
All good.
There was a lot of discourse, Will, when the rumor mill started up. Oh, they're not going to split up. There's no way. They won 4 out of 5 events. They just won a world championship. There's no way they're going to split up. There's no way that could happen.
Here we are.
Not only here we are, but I've taken a step back this year, starting last year, like starting 2022 into the 2023 season. I took a step back and I really had that thought in the back of my head that no, anything really can happen in this esport. Anything and everything is on the table. I don't care who the player is. I don't care who the organization is. I don't care what the team is. Anything and everything is on the table at nearly any given time. Obviously, pending contract negotiations, buyouts, whatever it may be. So when we were told what was happening, it was, yes, from the outside, it's like, that's fucking outlandish. What do you mean? And it's like, well, this is Halo esports. Anything can fucking happen. So it's a crazy concept to kind of think about, though, that you had a roster. Now, obviously, maybe players, like maybe they're trying to do contract negotiations. They maybe want more money because you won a lot of events, whatever it may be. I'm not trying to put words in people's mouths. I'm just, putting things out there, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't know those discussions that take place behind closed doors during contract negotiations. But when you have a team who you pick up Legend and Bound, obviously that duo, and you go on an unbelievable tear throughout the year. The only event you lost being the only event where you really came out flat, and they acknowledge it, right? And you could see it in their gameplay. They're just flat.
Yeah.
You win 4 out of 5 events, you win a world championship, and then all of a sudden, Halo Esports strikes again.
What, at the end of Worlds, when this all the Rostermania rumors started, I believe we said, like, no stone left unturned during this Rostermania.
That's right. Maybe people should listen to us from time to time, you know? We leave nuggets in there.
Little.
We don't leak shit, but we leave nuggets.
We leave bits.
Yeah.
Bits for you to pick up.
There you go.
Yeah.
They donate us bits. We leave bits. You know what I mean?
There you go.
There you go. Tyra Snipes with the gifted sub. Thank you so much. You get a woo! Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for that gifted sub. All right. Will, thank you for going through Rostermania. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to take a couple extra minutes there because these are, in the grand scheme of things, these are really, really big fucking moves.
They are.
And especially in a scene with so many rapid changes so frequently, and the fact that we don't stick on a title too long, you know? Obviously, we're not as fast as Call of Duty where they change gamers every year, but that's the nature of that beast.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just, it really is an unprecedented time in Halo Esports, so it's a crazy just kind of basking in it and sitting with it and just getting prepared for the 2025 season. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, Will, now we can get into the upcoming tournaments of the week presented by NoobCom.com. Check out NoobCom.com for all your Halo Esports. Saturday, December 21st, we have the SWAT Nation SWAT-salgia Episode 8, Reachmas. I wonder what that's going to be about. That's it for upcoming tournaments of the week presented by NoobCom.com. Check out NoobCom.com for all your Halo Esports needs. Will, regular news. Actually, you know what? Slight rant.
Oh, gosh.
Slight rant.
Okay.
Bring me, because it's not in the show notes, and there's a very specific reason why. Can you hit us over to tournament league recaps, please?
Okay.
Not upcoming tournaments, tournament league recaps, please.
That button.
Thank you.
Not on it today.
Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. I'll try to keep this brief. I went on a fucking soapbox during when you were doing the amazing birthday celebration for me. Thank you, by the way, where I choked on paper.
You did.
I did. I went on a soapbox last week where I hate when folks don't have fucking VODs enabled on their Twitch channels, or they have it fucking behind subscriptions. I fucking hate that shit. I don't care who you are. Okay? I don't care. Just enable them for everybody to see. Please. So Mythic Gaming.
Oh, no.
Got a bone to pick with your fucking ass. So not only, and for the record, love those guys. Okay? Love those guys. I'm strictly going to talk my shit about what happened. Okay? So Mythic Gaming, they did broadcast their 1v1 tournament on their Twitch channel. They don't have VODs enabled on their Twitch channel. So that VOD's gone. You know where the VOD does fucking exist, though?
Where?
On X. So I find that great. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Where's the bracket link?
Oh, you're going to get on this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this gets worse than that, though. Let's go to Mythic Gaming's Twitter account. All right. Scrolling. No fucking bracket link anywhere. Nowhere. So then I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I bet they have like an exclamation point bracket in their Twitch.
In the Twitch.
You gotta do it. Yo, APG, what the fuck?
APG.
Yo, shout out, Brad. Thank you so much, man. Welcome,
so
Raiders.
Kind, man.
God
Appreciate
damn.
it.
Thank you so much, Brad. Really appreciate that. What's up, APG Raiders? I'm going on a fucking rant for a second. So, I'm like, maybe there's an exclamation point bracket link in their Twitch, right? Typically, the tournament operators do that,
Yes.
right? So I go to Mythic Gaming's Twitch account. They don't have fucking VODs enabled. Guess what I can't fucking look for?
The bracket.
That fucking link that may or may not fucking exist. So you know what? At one point, I was writing the show notes today. I was in Tournament League recaps. Eddie Full Metal, thank you for
What's
the
up,
fucking
Eddie?
follow, man. Greatly appreciated. Welcome to this thing.
This thing.
I'm writing the show notes this morning, right? I'm in the Tournament League recaps. I'm fucking ready. I'm ready. I'm like, I'm going to get some Mythic Gaming 1v1 showdown in this bitch. Not anymore. Not any fucking more. No VOD link. No bracket link. No fucking results for you. Gets better than that. SWAT Nation had a tournament that took place as well. Now this one, rant over. This one wanted to include, almost included, went back, was watching the VOD. They had the bracket link. They had the VOD. Everything looked great. Getting towards the end of the tournament, fishy stuff going on. Some fishy stuff going on.
What kind of fishy stuff we talking about?
Cheating accusations going on. And I'm like, you know what? Gonna step away from this one.
Okay.
Didn't look like everything was solidified in terms of who was winning, who was losing. Just gonna take a step back from that one. Wanted to include it, tried to. Used my due diligence, decided
Sure.
against it.
Sure.
There you go. So that's that. That is why we don't actually have Scrim Tournament League recaps for this week.
Fair enough.
Mythic Gaming fucking up, and SWAT Nation doing their best. So there's that. Regular news.
Sounds good.
Happy Halo Days 2024 by Halo Studios. I'm not going to fucking read through it, but you can feel free to if you want to. That's it for the regular news. Car Games Watchful.
flying.
Hey, Will, would you look at that?
Yeah, the Rocker are 2-2.
Going into the minor, as expected.
Yep.
Remember what I said last week? In all caps, we're 2-0. Stop it now. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
This is it. This is the best it's ever going to be.
It's the best it's ever been.
That was the best it was ever going to be.
We'll see what happens from here.
Oh, I expect us to lose. Apparently, these are the minors are single elim as well.
Ooh, interesting.
And we start in losers.
Great.
Bop, bop, bop,
Wait.
bop, bop, bop.
How are they? How is there a...
I lied. It's all one side of the bracket. I lied. I just remember the fuck you. It's single elim. I'm sorry. It's a minor, not a major, whatever.
How is there a loser's
That's
bracket?
it for Connor Games to Watch. It's time for Will's Adventure. Fuck this. What'd you play?
I played Infinite. What else have we been playing? Did my HRL? Was this last week? Did I talk about? We took third place in HRL for our contender division.
Nice.
So that's that. Played some 8s. It's been about it. Played some ranked.
Wow. Sounds so exciting.
Halo is great at times. It's frustrating at times. I'm stuck in the game thinks I should be here. I'm above there. So even if I win, I'm getting like +6s, maybe +7s. But if I lose, getting tanked, you know?
I do want to ask you, though, because now that we're talking about you playing Halo like more throughout last week, EAC.
Yeah.
Experiencing it at all? How's it going?
Haven't
No.
experienced it. Obviously, the queue times and the whole cannot connect to the server problem still there.
Mhm.
But I haven't had a EAC.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Tusk says, why Renegade always need a God Squad to win? No, that's a real convo. Gee,
Ooh.
Tusk, you need to stop trying to stir shit. All right, bud? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, God. It's either Davo or Davo. Davo to GOAT?
I'm going to go with Davo to go.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Welcome to this shit show. And then Dumpy with the 30-month resub. You get a woo! Thank you so much for 30 months, baby! Welcome back. Good to see you. Hell yeah. But no, I'm glad to hear that you haven't been getting EAC'd. That is good. Hopefully that continues. Hopefully the queue times get better, though.
Hopefully.
Obviously. It really feels like when it's not one thing, it's a fucking other thing, you know, with this game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's unfortunate, but still love to play it.
Hell yeah. All right. The only thing that I've really like sunk time into I can say that like I started a new playthrough of The Witcher 3 because the Game Awards revealed The Witcher 4, and I'm like, oh fuck me, I want to play that again. So playing it on the Steam Deck, it's a good time, but I haven't really like spent a lot of time with it. But no, the game that I've been playing a lot with my daughter is Astrobot. Still, winner of Game Award 2024, Game of the Year, by the way, rightfully so in my opinion. But no, Linnea is enthralled by it. And the thing that I loved, Ronan, here you go. This is it. The thing that I love about it is in the Game Awards acceptance speech that Team Asobi was up there accepting the award for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
In their acceptance speech, they gave praise to, without saying the company's name, they gave praise to Nintendo and Mario and like other companies that have made 3D platformers and just made platformers in general. But the thing that I really loved about that acceptance speech is when they talked about how Astrobot might be the first game somebody plays. Like just anybody, like it might be the first game that somebody plays. And that, like, obviously my daughter has played other games, but Astrobot's the first game that she's really like, Daddy, I want to play this like every day. Like every single day after school. Like, Daddy, can I show you another level? Daddy, can you beat this boss for me? Like, when they said that in their acceptance speech, I'm like, mother, that's literally what my daughter fucking does every day.
Yeah.
And they nailed it. Like, shameless plug. Like, I'll have more to say about Astrobot during my Game of the Year deliberations on my personal show. Not going to plug what it actually is on here because that's not worth it. But Astrobot's a very special game. And knowing how much my daughter's fucking enthralled by it and just seeing the smile on her face when she conquers a level for the first time, like she'll watch me play one and then she'll be like, no, I can do that. And then she'll go ahead and try that level. Maybe I need to help her once or twice, but she'll get through it. And it's like, man, not only is my kid fucking awesome, but like just seeing her really enjoying this experience. And yeah, I've just been playing a lot of fucking Astrobot every goddamn day, apparently. And the holiday level that they just added for free, for people who don't know, I'm a huge oh my God.
Surprised the lights aren't up.
Dude, soon for next week's episode. Like, you want to talk about cream cannons? Like, god damn, I get the cream cannons going for some holiday themed cosmetics and games. Holy shit. You release any holiday themed cosmetics, Halo, you best believe us for money on that shit. But Astrobot released a holiday theme level for free. And like right away at the very beginning of the level, you get a Santa outfit for your bot and you wear it immediately for the level. So like you don't even have to change anything. It just it just automatically applies it. And then like the bots that are throughout the levels, there's some huge throwbacks to very old PlayStation titles. And it's just, that game is such a fucking vibe, man. So it's great. It's great. That's all I played. Sorry to talk about Astrobot a lot. It's just really fucking good.
All good. All good.
Yeah. Time for some shoutouts. And a very, 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 very special belated happy birthday here to High Tech Redneck Beth in the chat. Easily one of the nicest people ever. I think she's been with us since the very beginning. She is one of our original subs on the channel as well.
Yes.
And so yeah, shout out to you, Beth. Happy belated birthday. You're fucking amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for the support. Another amazing individual who has an Amazon wish list for her classroom that I want to shout out here. Cardinal Redbird, Rachel.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She is a teacher, and for the past couple of years, she's put out an Amazon wish list for things that she needs for the classroom. You don't feel obligated or anything to donate, but if you were so interested, the link is included in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show, ! Show notes in the chat. And please, if you have the extra funds necessary, like if you have extra funds sitting aside, get some things for her classroom. There's books, there's supplies, so on and so forth on that wish list. So please, if you're able to contribute, please do. Then, shout out to everyone who joined in the 8s that took place over the week. Hope everyone had some fun. Shout out to everyone who followed and subbed during the live show. That includes, as I scroll down for a sec, that includes Sin with the 6-month resub, John with the 19-month resub, Ashley with the 21-month resub, Blackout with the 13-month resub. I'm just going to literally go in order here. Ayara with the follow, Broken Hawk with the 3-month resub, Monster and Tusk with the follows, Theatrical with the gifted sub, Pablo with the follow, Tyler with the 5-month resub, Danny Phantom with the 15-month resub, Clutch Academy with the 10-month resub, Ronan with the 10-month resub, John, I will not miss those, I promise. Tyra Snipes with the gifted sub, ABG with the raid, thank you so much, sir. Eddie Full Metal and Davo the Goat, thank you for the follows. Dumpy with the 30-month resub, Zarners with the 39-month resub, Bright, Skull, Silva Fox, Strooby-Doo, and Void Bangos. Thank you guys for the follows. Greatly appreciated. Clutch with the gifted sub, Theatrical with the gifted sub, and John with the 5 gifteds. John, you'll get 5 separate, but to everybody else, thank you so much. You all get a woo, and John, you get a woo, 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 woo. Judge with the 2-month resub, you get a woo! Fuck!
Bring out all the woos.
You get a woo fuck. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, you get a fucking woo. Fucking woo!
All right.
And then shout out to everyone who's a patron at the semi-pro and higher tiers. That includes Unbroken Soul, Hardy Class, Blackout, Watsy, aka Diode, Pancakes, Ashley, Voodoo Man, Rasta Monkey Jr., Snaggle, Raider Hater, Peanut Bud, One Swall, Danny Phantom, Riz, Zarn, High Tech Redneck, Goalie Sniper, The Only Need, Heavy Rainfall, and Elated Dartboard. Thank you very much for the extra support over on the Patreon. And if you were a GOAT patron or a pro patron, you'll have a little extra something coming to you by the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. And thank you for the fucking support. Community creations.
Should probably just get rid of that top one.
Nah, man. Because we talked about this like years ago.
It's been there for years.
It's been a while.
And the memes haven't been great.
Since they've been in the fucking show. Halo memes every day. Reddit.com/r/Halo memes. It's still a fucking thing. Even if Will wants it gone, it's still there. Haunting his fucking dreams. But Will, don't let your memes be dreams. Halo menu music. There is a website out there, folks. I believe it is literally called halome.nu. The link is included in the show notes, so please click that link because that'll actually bring you to where you need to be. And I don't know if my link was actually real. Maybe it's a porn site. I don't fucking know.
Let's not go that far.
But no, the Halo menu music site, in your browser, you can set it to any of the mainline Halo titles, and it'll just play the menu music on loop.
There's the link.
Yeah, halome.nu. I was right. Nailed it. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested. Just fucking bask in the old vibes and enjoy. It made me realize again, I already knew this, but like it made me realize again how fucking goated the Halo Wars 2 menu music is. And I know how much of a fucking stan of Halo Wars Tools is if he's still here right now, but that menu music of Halo Wars 2 is fucking amazing. And like I said, I already knew it, but like just clicking on that link, loading the Halo Wars 2 menu, and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. This is really fucking good. So there's that. Godzilla, I did not miss your comments. I want to just give you time here as well. It says, I love the stickers you guys give out. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything you do for the Halo community. Godzilla, thank you.
Too kind.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for enjoying the stickers, because I also enjoy the stickers quite a lot. More to come next year, obviously. There will be more stickers, don't you worry. Silver Fox, isn't it fucking great? Isn't that site fucking amazing? Hell yeah. Well, I think this classifies us as a dum-dum, Will. Because I follow dum-dums has followed us, which makes us, that must make us a dum-dum.
We're the dum-dums.
I do fucking love dum-dum suckers, though. I'll tell you that much.
Those are like the small ones you get. Places used to have them all the time for kids.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Some places still do.
Nice.
That local card shop down the street.
Yeah.
By my daughter's gymnastics place. They have free suckers. Yeah. Shout out to them. Thank you for the follow. Favorite dum-dum flavor? Orange.
I always like grabbing the mystery one.
Not a bad choice. I'm just a big orange fan. Big orange fan. But yeah, Godzilla, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for taking the time to be here to listen or watch or whatever it may be. Because the show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So, thank you very much. Ronan, I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to move on. All right. Next up, Forge features for December 13th, 2024 by Halo Studios. Go check that out. And then one that you really should take some time to watch if you haven't already. The Competitive History of Halo. Halo Combat Evolved Episode 1, Hang 'em High. This is by Cyndaquil. It's a great fucking name. Great name. Obviously, great Pokemon, but like the way that they have their name typed out, it's really fucking good. Go check that out. They're going to be doing an entire series. Obviously, more things are going to take more time, but like, great introduction here. If you want to get your fill on some history, check it out. And then finally, you'll also want to check this out, where hopefully John doesn't fucking win everything. Native Gaming are doing 12 days of Christmas giveaways. They're already a few days in, but all you have to do is just check them out on Twitter. Follow the rules in the tweets. They're giving away a bunch of shit for the next, 12 days or so?
12 days.
Yeah, right?
12 days
12,
of
13?
Christmas giveaways.
Yes. So for the next 10 days, because they're already a couple in.
Oh, yeah. Today's day 3.
There you go. Over 70 people will win something. See, there you go. Moneybag Michael with the fucking money bags.
Handing it out.
You ain't fucking Scrooge up in this bitch. You know what I mean? He ain't Scrooge McDuck in this. He's giving that money out. Along with other prizes. So go check that out if you haven't already. Link is in the Google Doc of the show. It's the show. Will, I should have said this during the normal shoutouts portion of the show, but want to give an extra special shout out again to Bestman for being on the show.
Yes.
It was an absolute pleasure being able to talk about the past, the present, the future. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. I think what I might try to do is, I don't want to fucking set myself to a commitment I probably won't do. So that's all I got. Would you do me a favor, Will?
Yeah.
And plug this motherfucker.
We have a Patreon. If you want to become a patron, support us a little further, get a little extra content from us, find us over there. You can also find us on all your favorite podcast services. Just search for HCS Pro Talk. We're on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and Stitcher. And others, like Josh's favorite.
Pocket Cast! Still not an ad. But a damn fine
Find us on all those
service.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go on about this every week.
It's great.
Find all of our socials. We have a link tree. It'll send you to Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Twitch channel, TikTok, and even some merch if you want to buy some Pro Talk merch. It's out there.
There you go. We obviously we haven't talked to anybody yet, but we want to do cool new things for the new year.
Yes.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
I had a failed experiment in 24. It's coming back in 25.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Got a recent response from that too.
Yes. So in the works, be ready.
Yep. So yeah, expect cool new merch designs for the year of 2025 from HCS Pro Talk. Stay tuned.
As always, go to haloevolve.co.
Your home for Halo.
So it was weird. We partnered with them a while ago. They host a little spot on their site for us. And while you're there, check out all their great shows, such as Podcast Evolve, Mission Debrief, Halo TV Plus, Book Club, Bills, Blogs, Halo Headlines, and Halo Gear Guide. Go do it. If you're into the lore side or any of those other facets of Halo besides competitive. We're the competitive side. They got everything else covered. Go check it out.
That they do. Blackout, are you still here?
Oh, yes, we need to know the raid.
I promised. I fucking promised. But if you're not fucking here, you're losing your goddamn opportunity. Then again, I wasn't expecting this to be 2.5 hours long either, so fuck me. Do I go? Maybe I need to go waterless more episodes.
Why?
Because I haven't needed to piss.
I mean,
I don't know. But then again, there's Drink H2O in the chat, reminding me that I need to fucking drink water. God damn it. Huh. Drink H2O. No! Don't stop drinking me! No! Oh my God.
Yo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to raid Joral Blue. That's what we're going to go do.
Go say hi to Jarrell. Awesome individual.
He truly is.
Be nice. Be kind.
Dark Inside merch.
Yeah.
Forsaken merch, I believe. Correct?
Yep. Incredible.
Do it up. All right. We're going to go do that. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's going to do it for episode 369.
Yo.
Nice. Of HCS Pro Talk. We'll be back next week for a little bit of a holiday get-together, fun, shooting the shit show. We'll see. Shooting the shit show. Get it? Hey.
Hey, I like that.
We'll see if any more announcements happen for rosters, and of course, we'll talk about anything and everything that happens in the scene. But we're gonna keep it chill. It's right before the holidays. We have some more giveaways that we're gonna do. We'll have some lights up. Be a fun time. Maybe make a cocktail. It's gonna be great. Hope you all have a great fucking night. Thanks again, Bestman, for being on the show. You're welcome anytime. You know that. And we'll see you all next week. But until then, bye-bye.